All right, guys, let's get thank you for joining me tonight. Let's get straight into this. We're gonna film two videotapes tonight, two videos for YouTube. The first one, we're gonna talk about the Freightliner and a little bit of work I've been doing to her. The second one is gonna be geared to new members, members returning back to the hobby, which is what I generally focus on. But and curious members who, for whatever reason, I did post 3 YouTube shorts on this guy, and I noticed that the viewers on that were substantial, especially the last one I just did. I mean, I think I almost reached 1,000 views in 1 hour. So if you're a mathematician or you work with numbers and stuff, that only tells you that some of those people are going to be more than just curious. They don't know why that video popped up on their phone, while they were at work, in class, or at school, or at sleeping, or whatever, or gardening. But you can only assume that some of those people are going to be curious and check out more of the videos. So that second video is going to be for them. And it's going to be one of the typical encouragement videos that I like to do a lot, but more focused where it's only going to be about that, as opposed to what I'm doing to whatever particular model I happen to be building for that day. Real quick, can I thank the following new subscribers: Mark Endersby, Old School, and Norm Hauk. Thank you, gentlemen, for taking the time from your busy day and schedule to sign up and check out what I'm doing here. This is a community build. Everyone on my channel, or you don't even have to be a subscriber, if you chime in with advice or let's try this, or believe it or not, I have done many videos where we stop the build and work on that. Some come out fantastic and some absolutely flop, and we have actually changed the build where on some models where we were going based on suggestions or ideas or advice from you guys. That's the type of channel this is. It is a learning channel. We do soldering, working with styrene, plastic. We make our own bumpers out of metal. This is the first time doing it on this project. And came out pretty darn good. Now it's set on there temporarily because I shot that video yesterday. So it sticks out way too low and way too forward, because you can see that big piece of styrene in there. That's all going to be snapped off, and we'll correct that once the model is getting close to completion. But as you can see, we use a lot of metal in our projects. I'll show you guys the battery box holder right now, but that battery box holder was made out of the same material as that bumper and the sides of our dump and everything. Dump bed, I'm sorry. And that was the first experiment I tried with it, and it worked out great. Where I get this metal, you guys all know, I repeat it over and over again like a broken record. That literally is sides of a gallon metal can of lacquer thinner that you get at Home Depot, Ace Hardware stores. And we cut them apart on this channel here not too long ago. And you can primer it, paint on it, it'll stick. And for me, most of all, what was a great selling feature is you can solder on it. You can solder them together. This is fantastic stuff. You can't hurt it. I highly recommend it. Or you can buy regular sheets of brass like I always do from your local hobby store or brass supplier. But that's where that came from. A channel that's constantly looking for new ideas, suggestions, advice. And let's see if we can pull it off. And this particular build was no exception. Real quick, I mentioned the new subscribers. Thank you guys. And believe it or not, you guys just signed up. But if you guys have ideas, even criticisms, you guys are more than welcome to start shooting those off right now down below in the comment section. It's all good. It's all, I don't ignore anything. And or share with us what you've been doing in your channel so we could check that out also. Real quick also, you saw me do the Detroit Diesel the other day. I have used resin kits in the past, and I love those. This particular is not a resin kit. It looks and it feels like one because it's heavy. It's actually the kit that comes from the AMT. I believe it's the Astro. It's a cab over. And Tom might be more familiar with this. That's instructions that the gentleman sent me. I bought it on eBay. Yeah, it looks like a GMC Astro, I'm assuming. And that came with a Detroit diesel. The guy sent me the motor parts and a little cutout for the instructions. That's what you see right here. Now, we have used resin Detroit diesel engines in the past. I'm gonna move the tripod, guys. And I highly recommend those also. I'm going to pick up the tripod. You might hear a little bit of chatter as the legs hit the concrete. But we're going to weather this engine also. It'll match that one there. I do light weathering, and I do my weathering with oils. Basically, it's washes and grime and streaks. So I'm really, really happy with the AMT product of the Detroit diesel. The one you saw on the Diamond Rio, that's a V12. This one here is an 8-valve 71, I think. And Tom could chime in more on that. If you're interested, I'm sure he'll include some comments on it. And just feel free to check it out in the comment section. Read what he says, because Tom definitely knows what he's talking about. Let me see. What else? Okay. I was having problems with, let me see if I can explain this correctly. I felt, in the last video you saw, I felt that the front of the Freightliner cab that AMT provides is way too busy and had some unrealistic lines, in my opinion. Come on, stay in focus. Come on, camera. There we go. And there you can kind of see what I'm talking about. There you go. The corners of the front cheeks, I'll call them that just for the sake of giving it a name. To me, I felt that this round radius curve from here to here was way too big than it should have been. Should have been a lot more narrower to kind of match the curve of what you have here on the pillar. And to show you the point where I feel it was too exaggerated, there's really not too much we can do about it. I went ahead and drew an outline on the ground. Just, in my opinion, it's just kind of way too big. And that's nothing you can do about it too much, but it also did something that was standing out to me, that I couldn't match the front of my Freightliner with the video of the real one down in Austin. There was something off about it. And what it is that round, wide radius way down here, it may be correct, but it's probably wrong by a little bit, but it still is, I think, too big. It made the cheeks here up on top just jut out like jaws. It was unrealistic. In other words, I felt the freight, regardless of this added on sheet here, I felt, looking at the video of the real one, that the front of this should be flat. It's flat sheet metal with curved ends, and this one kind of has a bump here in the middle, but it was really exaggerated on these points here, and you can still see them. You can see this one stands out real good here with the light. And it actually, I don't think it does that. I think it's more flat in real life. So that was bugging me, because on the videotape, it looked flat in real life. And I said I was gonna take a sanding stick to the front of mine, and look at that. Look at that, guys. So these weird jowls or bumps or lines, whatever you call it, because I sanded the front of this flat as much as I could because I didn't want to, up until the point where I didn't want to distort it, so I stopped. So those funny goofy things here on the front here got pushed back more towards the edge. And when I saw where it was going, I did the other side. Unfortunately, in order to do that sanding to keep everything flat, make it look like sheet metal and not have it wavy and bumpy, you're gonna have to use some sort of sanding stick or sanding block or something. And that means you're gonna wind up wiping out your rivets, which we'll replace anyway, since we're doing the big finale, the one that all the modeling community, the AMT modeling community wants to see, is how I'm gonna solve the seam and rivet issue on the Freightliner. Since I've been talking that I've been gonna do that, well, shoot, I already done it a long time ago. But this time, we're gonna do to this, and we're gonna do a different technique, many techniques, and I have a surprise. Well, it's gonna be a crash and burn. It's either gonna work or it's not. But it's gonna be a big surprise. I encourage everybody to check it out because I think it's time for the AMT modeling community to stop talking crap about this kit here. This is an amazing kit. I'm a huge Freightliner fan. Ever since I was a little kid, my best friend in high school's dad had a Freightliner. Yeah. So I've always, it's just a big giant box going down the highway. I love them. And I think us as modelers on the internet, on YouTube, on social media, maybe we're falling for the instant gratification thing, and it's easier to say, "Oh, AMT, that kit's messed up. I don't recommend it," than sitting down, putting the work, and making it look correct. I don't know why my lights are doing that, but anyways, oh, come on, dude. Here we go. This is like the third time I shot this video because either the lights were messing up or something else. I'm not going to shoot it a fourth. So if the lights are flickering around and you hear me cussing, I apologize. But like I mentioned before, there's a learning channel, but there's also a cussing channel. We don't cuss just to cuss, but we cuss because we live in real life. Those lights give me a hard time. You're going to hear a lot of cussing, but I'll try not to do that. It just cleaned up the front. And when I compared it to the video, which I don't have up tonight, well, obviously anyways, it matched it almost dead on. So, like I said, you're gonna lose your rivet line, which we'll put back. And you also, because you're using that sanding stick method and you want to keep it flat and flush. Oh, here you go. Here. Let me see if I can fix that for us better. I don't have those things jutting out from the corners anymore. So that, in addition with thinning the cab walls, especially on the openings, the cab has taken on a whole new different look. You can't tell right now because my cab, the little stick I used to hold it up, kind of dropped down, so it's drooping. But look at that. It just cleans it up. Let's do this. Keep in mind that's a primer spot. That's not where I messed up with sanding. I just didn't shoot it with primer one more time. But it's a lot more flatter up front, just like the video image that I have a screenshot of, and definitely not the way it comes out of the box. Does that make it a bad kit that you have to shit can and not recommend? Nah, that's starting to get, that's starting to show laziness as far as I'm concerned. Because if you're putting videos on YouTube that you're a hotshot modeler, and you are, why would you let simple fixes that you've done a million times? I'm brand new to the truck building hobby, but I've been building models all my life. What would you let some simple fixes like this make you not recommend this model? Because they all have issues, right? So I'm going to address this in this long series on this particular kit. Check out the seam and rivet thing. We're going to address that because newcomers to the hobby and people coming back to the hobby who want to buy this, they're now going to have a video reference where we're going to address everything, and it's all simple, it don't cost money, and at the end of the day, you're going to have a beautiful Freightliner model if that's what you want to do. You know, at any time, I could have also said, well, screw it, I'm just going to dump this, but nah. Oh. That's a lacquer thinner gallon can, that bumper. Okay. I took the camera off the tripod, so we're holding it with one hand, so we're gonna get shaky images, but yes, yeah. Anyways, the dump bed is done. Everything worked out perfect. Let me get the tripod again. Let me hold this steady where I reach behind me, like if I had an eye behind my head. There we go. Focus. Thank you. Okay, okay. Okay, so real quick, for the dump bed, I use one of those extending, it has a magnet at the tip and extends out like a, here it is, here's part of it, like a radio antenna. I cut it off already, but that's how it came from Ace Hardware. Only paid $3.99 for it, and it was a perfect size for that. I painted the bottom portion black. We'll weather that. I actually put a little bit of oil on the cylinder part, and she works great. So once again, why would you crap on an AMT Freightliner kit when if you take your time, get advice from the guys here on YouTube, toss stuff back around on these online forums and stuff? This is just temporary, but that was for testing, see if it works, and it works damn good. Why would you crap on the kit and dump it and not buy it or throw it in the trash when with a little bit of work, look what you've come up with, man. That's fantastic. I've seen guys use it on YouTube before. So, and it's heavy duty, so it's not flimsy at all. We're almost done here. So the second video will be for the newcomers or people who saw those video shorts. While I have their attention, I'm going to try and lure some into the hobby. And this housing here for the hydraulic arm on the other side, it's out of plastic. I wondered how it would look with, once again, the lacquer thinner can. How it would look with it made out of metal. So it's just glued on with a little bit, couple drops of, oh boy, I better not snap it off. We'll just leave it like that. But we're keeping that. It just cleaned it up, I feel. And it goes along with the way I like to build, with incorporating as much metal into the model as possible. So you got metal sides, you got metal dump door, actually double brass sheets, thick sheets. So that's a heavy door. And the result is, I'm going to show off the action for you. Just like the real one. And Tom Klein gave me the suggestions for adding the chains on there so I can adjust the opening. And if I want to go pour gravel on a driveway, I can now. Or an asphalt parking lot, because somebody passed along a wonderful suggestion that we were able to all share, and we benefited it. Another member who gave us a fantastic idea when me and Tom couldn't figure out the last project, something with the fuel tank, was Michael Cook. Michael Cook became the inventor. Michael Cook became the inventor of the Cook Bar. So, to you newcomers to the hobby and to my channel, this is what we do. If you want to participate, hey, jump right in. That's the Cook Bar, now a new industry standard. But here's another idea, another experiment we did with the guys. That is what you're going to be seeing on this channel, because it's not me that comes up with these great ideas and I'm some sort of genius. It's all of us, every single one of us. And I was talking with my good friend Eddie man from work today, and he sees what I'm trying to do, encourage the rest of our coworkers to jump in on the big changes that we're making, revolutionary changes that we're making right now. And they're paying off big time, and there's more changes to come. And but it just feels good. And standing on the sidelines or just being a wallflower, I guess you can do that if you want, but we're trying to drag you guys in to do this at work. I'm trying to drag more people here to start your own channel, invite people to participate and with ideas and stuff. This is a great time to be on YouTube, to be in the hobby. And to you new guys who checked out my channel, my short the other day, my YouTube short on the dump truck, I hope you like what you see. I hope you're curious. And if you are, welcome aboard. Just come on in, jump right in. You don't have to worry about it. A lot of guys on YouTube, Plastic Imaginations Workshop, B&R's Northern Horse Journey, Dave Parsley, his emergency scale model vehicles, Max, the new guy, Max Model Corner, and that beautiful Revell triple axle dump truck, tow truck, big rig tow truck, or rotary tow truck as I've seen him referred to. He finished it. It's all lit up and everything. He did it in a month and a half, he says. But he's also encouraging and passing along his experience, his tips, his advice. I think he said 40 years doing this. I'm right behind him. I'm at about 38. And he's passing it along like I'm passing it along. So you new guys who are into the hobby, check out my second video. Welcome aboard. But what these experienced older modelers are passing along, and what I'm passing along, this is what was passed along to us. This is what's going to keep the hobby going forever. This wonderful, greatest hobby ever made on the planet. I'm passing along the baton also. I'll be moving off to greener pastures one day. But everything I know, everything I can think of, I'm going to shoot on video. And one day you guys will pass the baton along. So welcome aboard, you guys who saw my video short on YouTube on the dump truck. Welcome aboard. Are you sure you want to get into this hobby? Because let me tell you, it's addicting. But let me tell you something. If you're serious and you get into it, guess what? You're in for a hell of a journey. I guarantee it. A hell of a journey. Are you sure you want to get into it? Don't you just rather hang out with the guys and drink beer, or hang out with your buds and smoke pot, or or hang out with the girls and wind up having to pay child support down the road? Yeah, you can still do all that, but like me and Eddie were saying today, we worked all our lives just like you did. We earned whatever we choose to do with our free time. We earned it. I earned it, and you earned it. So if this is what you want to try and mix in with the rest of your life, welcome aboard. Are you sure? I'm telling you, it's addicting, and it's going to be a lifelong hobby. And you're going to meet some awesome friends. All right, guys, that's it for tonight. You guys take care. The second video for the new people thinking about joining the hobby will be out tonight or tomorrow. You guys take care.